everyone, Matt here with the week 1 recap video as I promised. So, I hope you will all agree with me that the first week was kind of interesting in terms of like me trying to figure out format and all that kind of stuff, and I genuinely do think that the 8th video I did yesterday on Outlander is potentially the right direction and where I would like to steer it. A bit of a mix of clips and references and that kind of stuff, and then also me being passionate about a book and talking about that. So I think going forward, that is kind of my benchmark from this first week, to be like, right, this kind of works. Let's see how I can really craft this idea of what I want to do with What Did You Read Yesterday in this month of experimentation that is September. I see I'm changing it around to be more like that and build on that as kind of the formula for what I want to do with these videos. If I think about what I want to do going forward, I think there's at least 2 main things that I want to consider personally. The first one is obviously thumbnails. Yes, I apologize everybody. I think my channel and all the other stuff I've done on Instagram and everything else would kind of lead you to indicate and read that maybe the thumbnail should be a bit better, and that's kind of on purpose, if I'm totally honest. I made the thumbnails a bit crap, A, so they'd be really quick for me to do, B, so I don't have to overthink it and make like a really nice template, which I'm in the process of doing, and C, just because honestly this experimentation month I'm not really plugging it many places. I just kind of want to get comfortable with doing this first before I go to all the Instagram followers and all the Blue Sky followers. I'm doing a load of YouTube stuff in a big and meaningful way. So that's part of it. But as I said, I definitely have ideas in mind. I've been looking at a lot of other channels and kind of where thumbnail art is at the moment, not to make it generic, but also to look at like best practice and then go, how can I make that work for the stuff I'd like to do and the stuff I want to actually design and look at. So I've got ideas. It'll come in the week. That was what I was alluding to yesterday with the Outlander video, that I would do some stuff around it. But yeah, I didn't have time today already, so set up the template. I got to redo all of those little thumbnails. It'll come by the end of the week. You will see a noticeable change in the thumbnails, and hopefully you'll agree that it looks a lot better, and then hopefully it starts to get more eyeballs as well as a result of that. The second thing, and obviously the most important, which you probably have seen me doing a little bit of, is editing. The first video I did, I literally tried to, much like I will do with this video, not edit much at all with it. I wanted it to be stream of consciousness, I wanted it to be top of mind, and I wanted it to be something that was kind of easy to do, to be honest with you. Naturally, there's work that goes into that. I've got to read the book, I've got to take some time to think about what I'm going to say about it and everything else. And so that's part of it, but I've also noticed from watching a bit more talking head stuff than I usually would, because I'm very much a SNES drunk, hey, team off camera kind of content creator usually when I watch stuff, if I'm totally honest. There's some people I follow, but generally speaking, it's mainly been off-camera stuff, which is what I did with Biographic. And so I'm thinking, okay, editing and part of this not only makes the videos a little bit sleeker in terms of watchability, so you don't hear me go, and, you know, do all the flubbing over lines and stuff, so I'm not just saying things like sexy armor-clad girl like I did in the Outlander one yesterday, because I'm just doing it stream of consciousness. It would allow me to actually think about what I'm saying a bit more and actually articulate myself without making it feel scripted and a bit boring, because I don't want to do that. Like, I have done scripted stuff before. It's not what I'm trying to do with the podcast. It's not what I want to do with the channel, because honestly, I can tell a million miles away when someone's looking directly at the camera and telling me in a very phone voice. I'm like, oh, I don't care. It all feels like a bit of a grift to me, and I want this channel to feel as genuine as possible, because it's mostly, you know, it's supposed to be my thoughts and my feelings on manga, and that's hopefully why people want to watch. Brings me to probably the third most important point. I will try and figure out a very loose structure for these. I kind of felt the Outlander one worked yesterday because I kind of had a structure in mind of how I would like to talk about it. It wasn't as sleek as I wanted it to be, obviously. If I'm thinking like, right, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to show this page, it'll give it a bit more structure. I'm literally thinking just a couple of bullet points to be like, right, these are the main beats I want to hit, this are the main things I want to say about this book, just so people get it a bit more. I also want to do a little bit more research because I feel like I'm just going in and reading stuff, and yes, I've done a quick glance at going, oh, this is this person's first work, or this is that. But I do genuinely want to make an effort to be like, right, cool, let me make sure I've got my facts straight, make sure I'm not spreading misinformation about these books, and make sure that if there is other work that I know by that creator, I can reference it. Because, you know, that helps the discoverability of a lot of the stuff I'm going to cover as well, is that people know not only Joji Manabe did Outlanders, but also Caravan Kid and Dracoon. Like, I want people to understand that these mangaka have very, very lengthy careers, and often they may be the biggest thing in the world, as Joji Manabe kind of was in the 80s and slash 90s with Outlander, but now he's relatively obscure. There's not a million videos about him like there is Akira Toriyama. Same, you know, kind of goes for Rumiko Takahashi in some veins. Like, yes, people know who she is, but like, I feel like a lot of the time, these creators that I really, really, really love are kind of second or third tier mangaka to people like Kishimoto or whatever, the people who are doing the big shonen hits of the early 2000s, when obviously people like myself got into manga. And I think that'll be it for now in terms of changes. Naturally, lighting is going to be a big thing, but that's an investment, and I kind of want to figure out all the other stuff first. So yes, don't be surprised if at some point during all of this, or, you know, after September, you see a massive upgrade in the lighting and all of that kind of stuff. But for now, it'll just be as it is. So yes, I understand that. But if you have more things that you think I could work on, then please let me know it in the comments down below, and I'll take them into consideration. Okay, everybody, thank you. This has been the first week. I will let this sit, like I said, mostly unedited, and then I will come back later today with another retro manga. It's going to be a short one. It's going to be one that, honestly, no one should probably talk about because it's not really finished, but I thought it was interesting anyways. So, look forward to that. And then from tomorrow, I will aim to actually get these up relatively early European / UK time, so people have a chance to watch them, because I realise I'm posting them late as it is now because I'm trying to fit them around everything else. So I'll get a flow. I may even start to do a little bit of batch recording, and I'm also going to drop the title What Did You Read Yesterday, because it's a bit of a mouthful and a bit long. As much as I like it, unfortunately, algorithms and YouTube titles and stuff, it kind of looks a bit messy, so I'm just going to call the series What You Reading for now, and we'll go from there. Anyway, folks, that's been a long ramble on my end. Hopefully some of this resonates with you, hopefully you agree with some of it, and if you don't, let me know in the comments down below. Until later, where I'll be back actually talking about a book, be sure, as always, to read on. Take care. Bye-bye.